TV News Express. Federal Capital Territory resident doctors suspend indefinite strike to resume on Monday. In business, Malian Civil Aviation Authority vows to sanction Qatar Airways over alleged passenger mistreatment. On foreign scene, Guinea-Bissau opposition leader returns from exile. In sport, third football player killed in Ecuador. Hello and welcome to all our viewers around the world to News Express on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Sadia Yakubu. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV, channels 365 and Star Times, channels 276. Days after industrial action that disrupted healthcare services across Abuja, the Association of Resident Doctors in the Federal Capital Territory has suspended its strike following successful negotiation with government officials. Kabiru Hassan reports.
At a press briefing in Abuja, the Association of Resident Doctors announced the suspension of its strike, confirming that the federal government has met all pending demands. The doctors say they will officially resume work on Monday, September 22nd, 2025.
I want to make this announcement that today the Congress voted to suspend a strike that has been there for some time now. And this is because of the fact that the FCT minister had granted all our requests.
The FCT Mandate Secretary for Health, Dr. Ade Dolapo Fasawi, while commending the doctors for their decision, reassured residents that there are no confirmed cases of Ebola in the territory, despite recent speculation.
I also want to make it clear that this is not the first case or the first suspected case we have had this year, but due to an effective and efficient surveillance system put in by the administration of Barrister Yelson Wike, we have been able to follow the protocols like every other state, even doing better than every other state. He has approved that all the applications not only be looked into, be paid. We should ensure that even more doctors, using this opportunity to also announce that the minister has approved for more healthcare workers to be employed in the FCT.
She added that the administration remains committed to improving healthcare delivery, equipped hospitals, and clearing all outstanding payment owed to staff. Kabir Hassan, reporting for Global TV News.
Nigerian Center for Disease Control has confirmed that suspected Ebola cases in Abuja tested negative after an individual reported to hospital with symptoms. Officials says the man's decision to seek care and early enabled doctors to activate the nation's public health system promptly, minimizing any risks to the wider population. Authorities commended a swift response as an example for Nigerians, urging anyone who feels unwell after travel to immediately seek medical attention. Rivers State Governor Fubara has pledged to cooperate with the State House of Assembly and other political stakeholders following the end of 6 months of emergency rule in the state. The governor said his administration would now focus on reconciliation, inclusiveness, and rebuilding trust. Mukhtar Kasim reports.
Fubara explained that he resisted pressure to challenge the constitutionality of the emergency declaration, stressing that peace was more important than political battles. He thanked President Bola Tinubu for brokering peace between stakeholders, including the Federal Capital Territory Minister, Nyesom Wike, and members of the State Assembly.
On behalf of the government and the good people of Rivers State, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to Mr. President for his fatherly disposition and decisive intervention in resolving the political crisis and for graciously restoring full democratic governance to our states.
The governor also assured Rivers people that all political leaders had agreed to bury the hatchet, while his administration would work to complete ongoing projects and revive the state's economy.
Mr. President graciously brokered the peace process with all the parties successfully. Our leader, His Excellency Onyesom Ezenwa-Wike, CON, all members of Rivers State House of Assembly, and I, as your governor, have all accepted to bury the hatchet and embrace peace and reconciliation in the best interests of our dear state.
Governor Fubara expressed gratitude to the citizens, religious leaders, civil society, and traditional rulers for their patience during the emergency rule. He reaffirmed his loyalty to President Bola Tinubu and called on Rivers people to put aside divisions and unite for peace, progress, and inclusive governance. Mukhtar Kasim, reporting for Global Television News.
As part of the federal government's efforts on infrastructural development, the Federal Capital Territory Administration has officially flagged off the construction of the northern pathway from Ring Road 2 to Ring Road 3 in Abuja. Kabir Hassan reports.
The Northern Parkway was approved by the Federal Executive Council and is scheduled for completion within 30 months. It will feature 8-lane carriageway, 2 service lanes, and 2 river bridges when completed, which is expected to link major junctions of the FCT to city center and ease traffic congestion. The FCT Minister Nyesom Wike explained that the project will not only improve transportation, but also provide jobs and stimulate development in the Federal Capital Territory. He further reaffirmed President Bola Tinubu's commitment to infrastructure growth of Abuja and Nigeria at large.
All our people who do not have jobs, who are interested to work, will be employed. There are also other people indirectly who will be affected. People will come in to sell something for workers to eat. They will make money from there. Contractors will be there to supply to the various companies the aggregates they need.
Wike urges commuters to exercise patience as the project progresses, noting that its completion will bring lasting benefits. He also appealed to the contractors to prioritize employing Nigerians in order to create job opportunities across the country. Kabir Hassan, reporting for Global TV News.
Once considered a symbol of modesty, clothing today has become a flashpoint between tradition and modernity. Across our communities, the debate over indecent dressing continues to stir conversations about morality, identity, and cultural values. Our correspondent has details.
Commonly defined as the act of wearing clothes that reveals parts of the body which traditionally expected to be covered in public. Though definitions vary by culture, religion, and personal values, it is generally viewed as dressing in a way that contradicts accepted standards of modesty. Fashion is a form of self-expression, but when personal freedom clashes with cultural values, that's where the debate begins. What is considered decent in one society might be seen as inappropriate in another. The concern arises when certain forms of dress are seen to encourage moral decline or disrespect for societal norms.
Indecent dressing is improper dressing, of which that is common to ladies these days. Also men as well, but it is too common in the life of ladies.
Schools, religious institutions, and workplaces are often the first to enforce dress codes. Many argue that these codes help maintain disciplines, order, and respect, but critics say they can be oppressive or outdated, especially when disproportionately targeting women or youth.
On a larger scale, when you dress to reveal parts of your body that are supposed to be covered, whether male or female, is indecent.
For some, indecent dressing is linked to rising cases of harassment, distraction in educational institutions, and even more decay. Others argue that focusing too much on clothing shifts attention away from much more pressing social issues such as education, poverty, and gender-based violence.
In Islam, decent dress is well established. In fact, the second revelation after the first one that talk on knowledge, the second revelation talk about decent dress, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, وَثِيَابَكَ فَطَهِّرْ. Your clothes, make sure you purify it. You dress decently.
Our faith teaches modesty as a virtue, not to shame individuals, but to promote respect for the body as sacred. We believe society must educate, not condemn. True decency starts from the heart and reflects outwardly.
As society evolves, so does the definition of decency. Finding balance between the freedom of expression and respect for cultural values remains a challenge. True change may begin not with what we wear, but with how we choose to see and respect one another. Sadia Yakubu, reporting for Global Television News. From the streets to kitchens across Nigeria, groundnuts are more than just a snack. They are a lifeline for millions of farmers and families. But behind the familiarities lies a sector struggling to balance a promise with the persistent challenges. Our correspondent Nafisa Baba takes a closer look at the significance of groundnuts and the hurdles facing farmers.
Groundnuts, also called peanuts, are believed to have originated in South America before making their way to Africa centuries ago. Today, Nigeria ranks among the continent's top producers, with states like Kano, Kaduna, Katsina, and Bauchi leading cultivation. Nutrition experts describe groundnut as a powerhouse food rich in protein, healthy fats, and vitamins, as well as playing a key role in food security and healthy diet.
It's filling, it's healthy, it has proteins, and it's very nice, yes.
Across the country, groundnut takes many forms like roasted, boiled, or processed into oil and butter. Popular delicacies like miengeda and snacks such as kuli-kuli remain everyday favorites.
Groundnut, we use it for like kunung aya sometimes and kunung geda and many other things. So sometimes groundnut is just for like appetizer to me. Whenever I'm hungry, I take groundnut in the morning, and sometimes I take groundnut and kunung and this one, pra and nono.
Beyond the dining table, groundnut fuel commerce, traders say the crop supports oil production, livestock feed, and even exports, making it vital for Nigerians' economy.
You know, there remain anytime where you finish, now go house. If you carry and do one way, not say it not be today, or if you chop and you go understand. So me, I know the feel missing.
However, farmers face major hurdles, from poor quality seed to post-harvest losses and the unpredictable effects of climate change on planting cycles. We have two types of groundnuts. We have the red and white. If you want a good groundnut, you have to plant it and allow early rainwater touches it. The fertilizers at times are not really good ones, and at times after planting it has not started growing. We do spray some fertilizers. It also has quantity. If you don't put it well, it will affect it and the groundnut will start spoiling. Experts warn that unless these issues are addressed, Nigerian risks losing the full benefit of groundnut farming. As Nigerians continue to depend on agriculture for growth, the humble groundnut stands as both a reminder of the country's farming heritage and a beacon of untapped potential. Unlock its full value will require more than tradition. It will take innovation, investment, and commitment to support the farmer who keep the crop alive. Nafisa Baba, Global Television News.
3 decades after their commissioning, members of the Nigerian Defense Academy 47th regular course reunited in Abuja to celebrate their 30th anniversary that even brought together members from across the country to relive memories of service, brotherhood, and resilience. Samuel Oli completes the reports.
The anniversary activities began on a lively note with a symbolic unity walk, followed by an energetic aerobics section to keep the spirit of fitness alive among the alumni. Old friends and comrades reconnected through laughter, sweat, and stories reflecting the discipline that shaped their formative years at the academy. According to the organizing committee chairman, Commodore Ahmed Madawaki, says this marks the first time in 30 years that the entire group has come together, a testament of the challenge they faced, but also to their resilience.
The first time we've been able to meet since we left the Nigerian Defense Academy. So it's a very memorable time for all of us. Everyone has been busy. We've been trying to organize this for years. We haven't. But to the glory of God, we've been able to do it this year, which marks the 30th anniversary.
The anniversary featured a health talk, interactive games, and a moment of reflection. Beyond the festivities, the event served as a reminder to their enduring commitment to service, unity, and the nation they once pledged to defend. Samuel Odi for Global Television News.
In many Nigerian homes today, English has become the first language for children, while native tongues are slowly fading away. This shift is sparking concern about the future of Nigerian rich linguistic and cultural heritage. Global Television's Priscilla Obasi reports. Benue State is charting a new course into the digital age since assuming office. The governor has placed technology at the heart of governance. In his special report, we trace that journey and spotlight this milestone with our Benue State correspondent, Felicity Diri. Residents of the federal All right, we're going for a break, and when we come back, we'll take other stories. Welcome back from that short break on business news. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority said it will impose stiff sanctions on Qatar Airways over alleged mistreatment of passengers and repeated violations of customs protection rules. Director General Chris Najomo warned that the airlines had ignored official investigation, failed to address a complaint, and disrespected regulatory directives, including snubbing a meeting by sending subordinates instead of senior representatives. The organization stressed that the international airlines must uphold Nigeria's bilateral air service agreement just as they do in Europe and elsewhere. And on foreign news, Guinea-Bissau opposition leader Pierre has returned from 9 months in exile to submit his candidacy for the country's November 23rd presidential elections. Pierre, a former prime minister and head of African Party for the Independence of Guinea, and had fled over alleged threats to his life and accusations of coup plotting, but vowed to resume his democratic fight against the president. His return comes amid heightened security, political tension, and lingering disputes over the 2019 elections that saw rival claims to presidency. United States President Donald Trump has raised the application fee for the H-1B work visa to $100,000 in a bid to restrict inflows and overhaul the immigration system. The United States approved about 400,000 H-1B visas in 2024, but Trump said the new measures will reduce dependency while funding a new expedited residency pathway for wealthy applicants and corporate sponsors. Critics note that the policy sharply contrasts with previous administrations, while Trump insists it will boost accountability and protect American jobs. And in sports, Ecuadorian football Jonathan Speedy has been shot dead in the coastal province, becoming the third player killed in the country this month. Police said the 31-year-old, who previously played in Mexico, died from a gunshot wound in an area by drug gangs, while another victim also lost his life in the attack. The mother highlighted Ecuador's escalating violence, which has also claimed the lives of other second division players amid the nation's drug war. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola has warned his team against repeating the defensive lapses that led to a 5-1 defeat to Arsenal last season. Speaking ahead of Sunday's Premier League clash at the Emirates, Guardiola said City cannot afford another poor display as they chase leaders Liverpool and Arsenal after losing 2 of their first 3 games. Guardiola insisted his players must cut out errors and prove themselves stronger despite injury concerns and tighter schedules than their rivals. As Global TV News comes to an end, here is a recap of our top stories. On Global TV News Express, after days of industrial action that disrupted healthcare services across Abuja, the Association of Resident Doctors in the Federal Capital Territory has suspended its strike following successful negotiation with the government officials. In business, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority says it will impose stiff actions on Qatar Airways over alleged mistreatment of passengers and repeated violations of consumer protection rules. On foreign scene, Guinea-Bissau opposition leader has returned from 9 months in exile to submit his candidacy for the country's November 23rd presidential elections. And in sport, Ghanaian footballer Jonathan has been shot dead in the coastal province, becoming the 3rd player killed in the country this month. That's it on News Express. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channels 365 and Star Times channels 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. I am Sadia Yakubu saying thank you for watching.